everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I see a lot of people in the chat are pretty much active already, so um just to make sure you could hear us and see us okay, please type in the chat your favorite flower because that's pretty much like what we're going to be doing today. And I think it's Saturday, the first Saturday for most of you guys. I think it's not too late to say Happy New Year. Say Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
Hi,
Year.
Sandra. Llama. All right, cool. We've got a llama, roses, orchids. Oh, wow. Those are pretty flowers. And I'm pretty sure Surbhi will teach you an easy way how to do some flowers today. So, tulip, also in Canada, and cold. Oh, I hope everything's better there. Llama from Tacoma, sunflower. Cool. All right. Those are pretty
Oh,
amazing and
sunflower.
lovely flowers. Yep. Okay, I think we could begin. Everyone's pretty active. Happy New Year. Roses from Sue. Oh, people are super warm today.
Too many to
Um,
name. I
definitely.
agree.
All right. I'll let you guys get acquainted and pretty much um, pump up the chat. So, hello again, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And welcome to another 30-minute class with Etchr. And my name is Kathleen. I'll be your studio host. I have with me the ever amazing Surbhi Sethi. She's going to teach us how to do some loose watercolor florals today. And as per usual, if you have any questions for Surbhi, just go ahead and type them in all caps. And keep an eye on the chat because I'll be dropping lots of links over there, including Surbhi's live 90-minute workshop, a link to that one. And without any more talking from me on my end, I know you guys are excited to meet Surbhi. So, Surbhi, why not show us some of your works first? Then
Yeah.
show us the work you're going to be doing in the mini workshop, introduce yourself. So, yeah.
Yes. So I'm Surbhi Sethi. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. I go by Aquarelle by Surbhi on Instagram. And I paint realistic and loose florals. So loose florals are flowers for which we don't need any sketching, just use a brush and straight away to start painting. And I also do realistic. So I'm just going to do a flip through of my sketchbook. Um, if we can, thank you so much. So these are the kind of things I paint.
Lovely peonies. And Surbhi, we want to make sure our overhead light is on max.
Yes, it
Cool. All right.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
And orchids. Oh, there.
It's a vibrant orchid.
Yeah. Roses. There were loads of roses in the chat. So rose buds, not a full blown rose yet.
These are pretty lovely. And did you know, guys, that Surbhi is actually a teacher? And might want to talk about that, Surbhi.
Yeah,
So yeah,
sure.
you're in the right hands.
Yeah, I am a lawyer by education, and I changed my profession about 16 years ago, and I teach German as a foreign language now, since 16 years now. And today I will be teaching painting. So
Lovely. So you can definitely do paintings from all walks of life, just like Surbhi.
definitely. So today we will be doing something like this. Easy, loose florals, beginner friendly, using just two colors.
And you might want to show us what you're going to be doing in the mini workshop later on.
Yes, so
Cool.
that's it. That's what we've got with this flip through. And then in the mini workshop, we will be doing something like this, where we've got a transparent layer in the back. If you can see, there are some leaves in the background there. And on top, we'll again use a limited palette, so 2 to 3 colors, and we'll be painting a loose floral using unusual colors again. So like today, we'll be using a turquoise or an emerald green with the light green. And this is what we will be doing in the mini workshop. This is what I have planned. So using an indigo and a light leaf green with gold geometrical shapes to enclose the composition into. So yeah.
Okay, that's very lovely. And look how realistic that petal looks like.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I think we can all begin. I think you guys are
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, so I would like to start by showing a few strokes of
Cool.
how, oops, yeah. So the 3 things we are going to be doing today, just some petals first, the stem, and the leaves. And I will be using, just for the strokes, I will be using a dark color so it's visible. So I'm using a Prussian blue here, just for now. We're not starting with the painting yet, just for the practice first. And so we're going to start with the strokes for the petals first. So we're going to hold the brush straight, perpendicular to the paper, and press down, curve it a bit, and then just lift. And then we do the same thing on the other side, just slightly slanted, like that. And then another one there, and another one there. So we'll be doing 3 kinds of flowers. The first one will be like this, which will be a bud. The second one will be the same thing, but we're going to add the same thing on the other side. So we're going to do it like this, curve it like that, and like that. And then the third one we will be doing will be the same thing, but with another one on this side. So I'm going to do a brand new one here. So like that, like that. And then I'm going to just move this a little bit so it's easy. I prefer tilting it a bit. So and that's it. So these are the 3 kinds of flowers we'll be doing. We just have 2 here. This is the third one. So we've got a bud, we've got a flower which has got just 2 of these buds and one with 3. And then after that, we will be doing this the leaves. The leaves are exactly the same. Again, so that if we think that's the stem there, we're just going to push and lift, just single stroke leaves. Going to push and then lift, lift, and lift. And you can do this practice for as long as you want. It just gets better with practice. You could do another stroke on top if you want the leaf to look different, so you can just go over it like that. But for me, I prefer just doing a single stroke. So again, if we just take, like, if that's the stem, and just like that, like that. And then the last thing we will be doing will be the stem practice. And let's say if our flower is up here, just make straight lines. Well, not straight, a little bit curved. But the more you practice, the better it's going to get. So do one here, like that. and it'll be with the tip of your brush. Again, I'm holding the brush down, perpendicular to the paper, and it has a really, really sharp tip. It's visible. And we're just going to, and it doesn't need to be in this direction. It could be like going like that. And that's it. That's for the practice. Are there any questions, Kathleen?
Yeah, I think the only question they had was the size of the brush, and I already
Yes.
responded by saying Princeton's Heritage size 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Perfect. So should we start with the main painting?
Yeah, we could definitely start now.
Okay. So for this one, I will be using the Etchr palette. And the two colors we will be using are going to be emerald green. So I'm just taking a slightly lighter mix here. The consistency, I'm just going to try and get close to the camera so you can see. So it's not really like watery, but there is enough water in it. Then add a little bit more water and a little bit more paint so we have enough for the flowers. And then the second, I've got a puddle here. It's dried out now. It's basically exactly the same color, but it's more saturated. And we're going to need this for later. So I'm not really going to wet this yet, but just to let you know, we will be using, so that's emerald green with a bit of water. That's emerald green again, but it's really, really saturated. And we will be using the saturated one for the painting as well. And for the stems, we will be using a lime green. So I'm just gonna, you can use lime green, you can use May green. If your green isn't, the lime green is not light enough, you could add a bit of lemon yellow to it. But I'm just using it directly from the palette, so sticking to the two colors, the two shades.
And Surbhi, before we could proceed with painting, just quick question.
Yeah.
The paper, is it called cold pressed or hot pressed?
This is the cold press. This is cold press paper. It's the Etchr Perfect Sketchbook. It's 100% cotton. It's easy to blend on 100% cotton paper, and this is cold pressed.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's start. For the flowers, I will be using the emerald green, and I will start by using my Princeton Heritage size 3 brush. Just gonna place this here. Okay. Right. So this is an A4 size sheet, and if you're right-handed, it's always good to start on the left and then go on the right. I don't always stick to it, and yeah, there are accidents at times, but it's okay. We can fix it. Right. So I'm going to start with the emerald green, and remembering the strokes that we just did, we're going to start with a little bud here in the bottom. It's not completely in the bottom left-hand corner, but it is slightly up. So again, just a curve, just a curve. That's our first flower. And then the second one will be slightly higher. If we can have the this camera, so we can see where, okay. So this is the distance. It's not really at the bottom. It's quite high up, but the second one is going to be a little bit higher. I mean, you can do it anywhere. There's no hard and fast rule where it should go. And the second one, it looks a bit small, but it's okay. We can make it slightly bigger. I'm going to do the 2-petal thing. Okay. Then we'll go with one slightly higher. Okay. And I think probably make this a 3-stroke one. So we'll just go with that. You can always make the petal look a bit better if it doesn't look to your taste. And then I will tilt my sketchbook ever so slightly because I find it easier to, because we don't want all the flowers shaping the same way. So I'll put one here. And that'll also be a bud. I'll put one here, maybe a 2 bud flower. But I'm going to put the second one this side, so it's not all facing the same way. Then one here, then maybe a single petal, and then one here. I'm going to do that in the other direction now. Okay. Right. We're going to start with, and that's the flowers done. You could make it bigger, smaller. These ones are quite small. You could, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the stems and the leaves and then see if it looks too empty, then I can add more flowers later on. So for the stems, I'm going to take my size 2 brush, and this one is an Escoda Prado. It's a synthetic brush. And I'm taking the lime green now. And what I'm going to do is, if we can get the close-up camera quickly so I can show what I do at the bottom of these. Thank you so much. So we're not going to do the stem directly. I'm going to make a slightly a V shape thing here below these. And then I'm going to make the stem. And I'm going to make the V shape thing for all of them first before I start with the stems. And it's wet, so I need to be a little bit careful. Not doing much. I'm literally just making a V shape to just connect the dots. Okay. Now to make the stems, and I'm going to tilt my sketchbook because it's a lot easier for me to work that way. So can you have the overhead camera? Thank you. Okay. So it's not in the right. I'm gonna have to do it like this. Okay. So for the stem for this one, I'm going to just have to take it. Yeah, just being a bit mindful because it's still wet. And then I'm going to do it from here. And then one here. And we're going to actually go over here. And like that. Now, after looking at this area looks really empty, so I would like to add a flower here. So I'm going to take my size 3 pencil with the emerald from the Etchr palette, and I'm going to add, I think, You've got maybe a tree, a little tree petal here.
There's a really nice comment in the chat that I just think you'd love to know. Um, she says, "I found you on Instagram and I love your work," and I think everybody does agree with that.
Oh, thank you so much. And then
Such a lovely composition. And I think Surbhi will be talking more about that and color choices in the 90-minute class. So if you're interested, the benefit of that, of joining the live 90-minute class, is it's going to be a step-by-step process, and Surbhi will be talking more about her process and how she does her thinking process, her art process with these florals. And I think there's a touch of gold with that one, right?
yes, there is. Yes, there
Cool.
is. It's this one. So it's basically the flowers, so we're building up on what we've learned in this one. And obviously something similar, but on a bigger scale. I mean, it is still the same size of paper. It's still an A4. But the flowers are a lot bigger, the leaves are bigger. And yeah, and the colors, unusual colors again, blues and greens instead of orange, red, purple. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love orange and reds and pinks, but it's just nice to do something different. Have kind of got a little smudge here, which is okay. It's I'm going to remove it later on. And also, this is looking a bit empty, so I'm going to again add a little bud here, which will attach to the big flower. Okay. And I'm going to attach it. Right. So these are the flowers done, and I am going to just start with the leaves. We're taking lime green, and I'm taking my size 2 brush again. And we're going to start from the left. And just, not sure if this is.
Oh, and somebody's saying you have a perfect way of teaching. Yes, Surbhi.
Oh, thank you.
Surbhi has placed so much effort in letting you setting this up in such a way that you guys would see her brush stroke. So
Okay, now while I was doing this, I've just noticed that there's still a few petals that are still wet. So just for some wet and wet strokes, I am going to take the darker version of the emerald green, and I'm going to kind of drop it in here, you can see. And I'm going to drop it in there, and I'm going to let the paint do its thing. And later on, we can blend it if it's too harsh. Do one there. Do one there. And there. It is considerably darker, that mix. If you find that your base flower is already too dark, it's fine. It's just that you can add a little bit of indigo, or you could add some ultramarine, or you could even add a little bit of black. Black will just make it a little bit more dull, not so bright anymore. So ultramarine blue is probably going to be the best choice for this. We can You can either blend it right now. So these ones that are still wet, they don't need that much blending. But the ones that got dry, how we're going to blend it is that I'm going to show it on the close up here. It's We're just going to take clean brush, and I'm just going to tap it a little bit so it's still slightly wet, and then I'm just going to brush it on the side so that it blends. And I'm going to do the same thing here. This one is already blended because it was a little bit wet. Here as well, just blend. And if you think it's leaving a harsh line, just blend it upwards or just follow the shape of the flower. Now this one over here, you'll be able to see better because it's quite harsh. And I'm just going to blend it like that. I think I can see a harsh line there, so I'm going to take some more clean water and just blend it like that. We have a few more harsh ones. Got one here. I'll do the same thing. And if it has dried, it's fine. It's not a big deal. We can add the dark mix again where it's still wet, and then use the clean brush. And then do the same thing. Okay. And that's about it for the blending. And now I'm just going to add all the leaves. And that's about it.
Cool, awesome.
How are we doing for time?
We're 27 minutes away for the whole live, so you're good.
Okay.
Everybody's
Okay.
pretty much enjoying. So
Okay, perfect. Okay. So we're going to carry on with the leaves. I will be doing single stroke leaves, and if you notice, it's just here that I've gone for two leaves next to each other, but I normally prefer going for alternating leaves, so to say. But at the top, I don't mind if they're too close to each other. Okay.
So, Surbhi, with all the other flowers that has been listed or given in the chat earlier in the beginning,
Yeah.
what other flowers, easy florals, do you suggest that other people can do, just so they would have like an idea about what other things they can do?
Do you mean botanicals? Because
Yeah.
this is abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. I find poppies to be really easy if you know how to blend. I think that's a really, really good option. And I mean, I would say the peonies are not really that easy, but the buds are a lot easier. So if you do like peonies, you could start with the buds first. And sunflowers are easy to paint. Again, not many colors in sunflowers. You can use the blend of 2 to 3 colors, an orange, a yellow, and a brown for the center.
Mm-hmm. I think I saw some sunflower earlier, so that's great. I think they are going to be trying that out after this live.
Yeah, I mean, it's also easy to do. Daisies actually loose.
Mm-hmm.
So I have them on my Instagram. It's loose daisies are really easy, and you can layer them as well, and they look really nice.
And I think it's great that somebody's actually teaching limited palette with more on the blue or green indigo side, because like you mentioned earlier, when we talk about botanicals, normally we talk about the red, orange to yellow colors,
Yeah,
and it's very rare that we talk about the blue ones. So that's actually cool that you're touching on that in the 90-minute class.
yeah, it's good to be different.
Oh, definitely, yeah. That applies in life as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we move the painting just a little bit to the center? If that's possible. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. So
Oh,
for
and Jan,
this,
sorry.
yeah,
I'm just gonna read like a comment saying cosmos are easy too. I think anything on the aster, in the aster family. So
yeah, yeah, those are easy as well. Okay, now as you can see, there some of them have got the dark color, the shadow, and some of them don't. So it's this one that doesn't, and this one. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the shadow into this. And again, don't you don't even need to blend it. If you have a bit of water on your brush, you can just kind of tilt it, and it will be slightly blended, but I just prefer to blend it anyway. Tilting the brush can really, especially if the color is only on the tip, it's really, really easy to blend watercolors. And
oh, sorry, can we? There you go. Awesome.
I'm just going to do this one again. It's not dark enough. Okay. So it already has a bit of water, so it's a lot easier for the blending. Okay. And then so now this one over here, I'm also going to make a darker little flick here. So we have two shades of those. And probably here as well. And then this top flower here as well at the bottom. I'm going to just make that a bit more pronounced. And I think I'm going to make this one a bit darker as well. And use the other brush to just blend it. Just wash, wipe, and then blend. And in fact, you could also desaturate if you just use a wet brush and just lift the color. You could add a bit of highlight there as well. If this petal is maybe towards the front, or maybe I can desaturate this one a little bit. Just with plain water, and I keep wiping it on the paper towel. Just making sure there's not too much water there. And so there. And then the last one I'm going to do is this one here. I'm just going to add a little flick here. And I think this one as well, actually. Right there. Okay.
Awesome. Should I switch to the overhead cam or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And the little mistake that we had, we've got two little mistakes, so I can show you how to remove that. I like to reuse my paper towels, so it doesn't have to be clean if you're just using it for painting. But for this step, if you've messed it up slightly, it's best to use a clean one. Um, and I can't find mine, obviously. So, right, we're just going to use the corner of this, which is quite clean, but I will use a thicker brush and clean water. I don't know if it's even, yeah, it is visible right there. I'm just going to put a bit of water on it and use one side of the brush and kind of brush it vigorously and then just pat it dry. And that's it. It's gone.
Cool. And thanks for showing it that, because we all make mistakes every now and then. So
Oh yeah, and you did mention I've got a really I wanted to Kathleen had mentioned before about this camera. How
oh,
did you
oh
so the
yeah, that would be
so
interesting. Go ahead.
it's a cool hack if you want to record reels for Instagram or for TikTok. It The stand is basically a thick scotch tape, and the phone just sits in there, and it's quite stable. In fact, even the charger is in there, so it works perfectly and it's stable. It doesn't move. So if you don't have a tripod, if you're starting off with reels, this is a really good way to go ahead and start off with it.
And that's life hacks with Surbhi.
Yeah. I need another Instagram account.
You should. That's pretty interesting with all of these things you're teaching us. Oh my gosh.
Right. So I think that
Oh,
was it. That's
okay.
it. And if you think it's not, of course you can make the flowers bigger. You can fill it a bit more all over the page. You can, I've left a bit of margin on the sides, but it's not necessary. Some of my paintings don't have that, so it's completely up to you. You could, experiment with different kinds of colors. Turquoise, green, just any colors, two colors. And to get the darker shade, just make sure your initial flower is a bit lighter, and then the darker shade will be for adding depths.
That's awesome. All right. And someone saying tape pod. Oh, that's somebody has just given a word for it. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think everybody had fun, so that was super lovely. So I think Serbi is back, and with the other camera, you can see. Um,
Oh, there is a
and
question.
yeah, can we see the painting you're gonna be teaching in the lesson? Cool. Maybe we could talk a bit about the 90-minute class again for the newcomers.
Yeah, so I will be covering again abstract loose florals without a sketch. The only time we will use a pencil is, for the geometric shapes, and we will be using indigo, or just unusual colors for the flowers, and we'll repeat what we've learned here in the live demo on strokes and everything. And basically, just in closing, um, the whole composition in a geometrical shape, and then filling it with a gold um, paint, watercolor paint.
Cool. That's very lovely. The idea of enclosing it and with the silhouettes at the back. And just look at the petals. It just looks so real. You know, one of those pressed flowers?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that. That's super lovely. Okay, cool. I think I'll go ahead and bring back Serbi again. If you guys have any questions again for Serbi, go ahead and ask them away. And I'm just going to talk about a little bit, touch on the 90-minute class with Serbi. So that's going to be, of course, for 90 minutes. It's going to run for, it's a bit longer. And it's a step-by-step process. You guys could go ahead and ask Serbi as well a couple of questions. And one good thing about it is pretty much like this live. If you have missed that, then you could definitely rewatch it. So, all right. Other than super amazing comments that I'm finding in the chat, if there are any more questions, I think you could definitely reach out to Serbi on her Instagram account if you have like some technical questions. Um, Oh, can you say what size brushes again from Lisa? Okay, cool. Maybe we could do a
Yeah,
rundown.
so I used a size 3 Princeton Heritage, and a size 2 um, Prado, Escoda Prado, but it's not necessary. You could also go for a size 4 and a 2. You, quite comfortable with these brushes. That's why I use these two. But there's not a big difference. It's just that this one is good for the stems and the leaves, I find. Yeah, these were the two brushes, and the paints were um, the Etchr 24 half pan set, and I used emerald green and lime green, and I used the perfect sketchbook by Etchr again. Ooh, see if I can close this. Yeah. So yeah, there it is.
An A4 size, I believe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is A4, cold pressed, 100% cotton, and
All right.
yeah.
That's pretty much it for everybody. When will the 90-minute class be? Oh, right. Um, Shanara Garcia. Sorry if I read it
Shana.
incorrectly.
Yeah,
Oh, Shanna. Okay. All
that
right.
means Shana. Yeah.
Shanna Rhea. Oh my gosh, I was trying to read the whole thing. um, so hey Shanna. That's gonna be on February
The 6th, I believe. Yeah.
oh, 9. 9 a.m. Eastern time. I'll
Yeah.
just go ahead and drop that link in the chat as you're speaking. And I missed the original Brushstrokes and the Flowers. Can she? Yeah, we could definitely rewatch this video. Serpy has. If you've missed the first part, Serpy has prepared like a special camera for you with a tape pod. Just as Ken has named it. I believe Ken has named that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so if you've enjoyed this class, this demonstration with Serbi, you go ahead and join her live 90-minute class. I've dropped that link in the chat. And please tell us how we did today. So follow the link in the chat as well for our feedback survey. If you loved how Serbi has taught you specific brush strokes today, go ahead and let us know. If you loved her setup and you want more of that in the future, go ahead and let us know. And if you have any questions for Serbi, if you want to share what you've done today, you could go ahead and message her on Instagram, tag her
Yeah,
as well.
tag me. Yeah.
And we have a private Facebook group, Etchr Studio Fam, so you could definitely join that group. It's an amazing community. There's been a lot of exchange of ideas, of artworks there, so you could go ahead and share what you have done today. And if that will be all, thank you so much, Serbi. Thumbs up.
Thank you very
Barb
much.
has mentioned. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Serbi, for that lovely demo with botanicals today. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And until next time, make more art, everybody. Bye for
Thank
now.
you. Thank you. Bye.